Alrighty. Hello, everyone. My name is Peas, and this is my second run of PACE 2022, and this will be Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, a 2019 remaster of the original Wii launch title. So the biggest gimmick of this game is essentially going from motion controls to analog controls, and this is the only time you'll ever see my Wii remote, so yeah, we'll just put it over here now. So, again, Banana Blitz HD released in 2019 with very cool changes. Unfortunately, the party games received a massive nerf and things like that. But we don't play party games; we just play the main game. But the best change that I should say not really a change; it's more of an addition. We're not going to be playing Super Monkey Ball. Instead, we're going to be playing as Sonic the Hedgehog. What is he doing in a Monkey Ball game? I don't even know. You're going to have to ask Sega for that one. So, so we're going to be running from Monkey Island 1 all the way through Ultra Heaven 9. This is the All Worlds category. And if you've ever seen Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, you may recognize something happens at the end of each world. And thankfully, it only happens in Banana Blitz in particular. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the game. Pardon the pun, because that's also a big gimmick of Banana Blitz. And I made sure that everything is reset, so there should not be any leveling issues. And I'll go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1, ready, go. All right. So Super Banana Blitz is the first Monkey Ball game in which characters are allowed to jump. The second being the most recent addition to the franchise, which is Banana Mania. But unfortunately, you do have to unlock the jump button. But this game in particular does a really solid job of introducing the jumping mechanic in a marble rolling game. And you also may be wondering, why am I using Sonic? For one, this game focuses more on the ground speed as opposed to aerial movement, because this is analog controls versus using motion controls. And thankfully, you don't even have to use motion controls in this game. And of course, I'm also playing the PC version of this game for reasons that I will explain much later on. So World 1 is essentially your tutorial for what's going to happen throughout the game, and for every Monkey Ball speedrun, we do not play bonus stages. They don't count towards fallouts and things like that, so we can just keep on moving. So this stage in particular, here we go. So we nearly got something that I like to call a bridge collision, and even slope collision, where if I touch any part of the stage, the game may decide what it wants to do to me. Shoutouts to the Unity engine. But in any case, that one was all right. And then 1-6 is pretty good. And we're coming up to our very first important fundamental skip of the game. This kind of saves a lot of time here. So we're going to do a little jump to gain some speed, turn around, line ourselves correctly, jump here, get that, bam, just like that. So now this is basically the last level of World 1, and this also introduces a unique mechanic to the Monkey Ball franchise, and that is the usage of enemies. Now, if you played the original games, you may recognize the bumpers and things like that, but Banana Blitz tries to approach the game in a more platforming setting, so that they decided to add enemies and bosses in particular. Now, you're going to see very shortly why no one liked boss fights in any Monkey Ball game, and frankly, they only belonged in the Monkey Ball 2 party game, Monkey Shock. All right, so this bird right here is a menace. I want for him to blow some wind, and that is not what I want, but it's okay. Whoop, we got to make sure to not get ricocheted off into the fallout zone there. Will he blow some wind? No, he will not. That is okay. So the reason why I want the bird to blow wind is because it's actually the fastest cycle. Whoa, okay, that was not that bad. Oh, okay. That was like the quickest reaction that I could not do. So we might get 4 for 4 terrible RNG. And, oh, let's go. Nice. So now, basically, World 1 is complete. Literally, if you blinked it, you probably missed it. This one goes by pretty quickly. All right. So one thing I should also mention is that because I'm running this on a completed save file, you will not see any cutscenes except for the instead of World 8's cutscene. Basically, what happens here is Space Pirate Monkey steals golden bananas, and the characters try to collect them all and things like that. One thing that I should also mention is that in Banana Blitz HD, you actually only get to play as one character, well, as opposed to being able to change in between each levels and things like that. So, whoa, we got to make sure we don't accidentally misinput and fall off the stage here. This world is more focused on the bouncing strats. This is where the fun really begins, in my honest opinion. And, okay, that was pretty good. Go straight into the goal just like that. All right. So, 2-4, kind of boring. All we got to do is just jump here. And I'm going to do a little quick time save here. Just bounce off of that. Bam, just like that. And then next one, bonus stage. We don't play those, so we're just going to throw Sonic off the stage here. And there we go. All right. So this skip is pretty cool. Check this out. Do a couple of jumps here. Bounce off of that. Bam, just like that. Saves you a lot of time from having to play the stage as intended. There's actually a little stair wire that just goes straight down, but that loses about like 4 seconds compared to what I just did. Now this stage is kind of a bully. Oh, there's bridge collision. Okay, there we go. We fall out there. Nice. So I'm gonna get a very slow time here because, as I said earlier, bridge collision likes to control my speed in general, and depending on how well I can adjust to it will determine how fast I can beat the level. So we're going to jump down here, bounce off of this, get in the goal just like that. Simple as that. All right, so this next one, we're going to see if I can hit this. So we're going to jump here, hit this one here. Oh, this looks good. Oh, this looks really good, yeah. Yep, nice. So this is where I'm going to talk about this game's FPS and why I run this on PC. So you may notice that the game runs just a little bit jagged due to the fact that I'm actually running this at 144 Hertz as opposed to 60 frames per second. This is so that my inputs come out a lot quicker. And speaking of quick, that's a very good first cycle here. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me set up the cycle skip here real quick. But anyway, if you're to play this on console, you would not have a good time because of the fact that the 60 frames per second can actually lead to dropped inputs, especially if you play this game on Switch. And for some reason, I'm getting a very good baboon here. So I'm going to scoot back a little bit here. And I'm going to go to the... Okay, I'm going to go to the right here and hit this little bullet right here. Just make sure I not bump into that on accident. And then we're going to wait for him to shoot the flurry of bullets again. All right, and that is a finished World 2. Nice. And that's a really good time as well, so. All right. Whew-wee. Now, one thing I'll also mention is that some bosses received buffs and nerfs depending on the difficulty. This boss received a massive nerf in terms of the fact that if I don't move, the camera will move me itself, and that could be a really huge roadblock for any casual player, you know, wanting to get into this game in particular. Now, World 3 is where I'm going to talk about the game's music. So the biggest reason why I'm running this game on PC is because for some reason, Sega was not able to gain the rights to this actual music that you're hearing, with the exception of World 3, which is Smooth Sherbert, because of the original composer. And I'm going to bounce off of this, slow down here, bam. That was really close as well. I was so scared to fall off there. Now this one also goes by pretty quickly. I'm just gonna jump up here and boom, just like that. All right. Now World 4, not World 4, 3-4, kind of similar to 2-4, with the exception there's like bumpers and you're just trying to jump over them to avoid. You can actually bounce off of that one, but I'm just gonna play it safe and do just a quick little jump right there. Now, the rest of World 3 actually cooks, in my honest opinion, once we throw Sonic off the bonus stage here. And that's actually a good time to exit there, so that's pretty cool. Now, this one, we're going to just hold up, skip all this foolishness here. Oh, that's a little slow, but that's okay. 53.6 is, hit or miss, in my honest opinion. Now, this one's actually one of my favorite skips of the entire game. Let's see. Oh, this looks good. Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, we got it. Nice. It's just a simple hold up from here. Bam, just like that. All right. Now this one is a little bit snowbally because they added snowballs, and okay, that's fine. This will finish at around like a 49 or a 50. Okay, 50. No, 51. Nice. We somehow saved that. All right. This one, I'm kind of thinking. Should I go for the cool points or should I go for the... No, we're going to go for it. All right. We're going to do this. Down right here. Uh-oh. That's fine. That is totally fine. I actually did a quick neutral flick there, and that actually cost me a little bit of my speed, so I'm going to go for it again. This is a 2-second time saver for what I'm actually going for here. So we're going to bounce on with this. Hit that. Oh, actually, well, you know what? That's okay. That is totally fine. We'll just do that. That's not the time saver that I was talking about, though. Basically, what I was wanting to do was bounce off of a little slope there and go straight into the goal, which gives me around a 50, but it's actually an IL strat, and between you and me, I don't really practice that, even though I've actually hit it, before. But it is what it is. Now, this boss fight is kind of disgusting, but in my honest opinion, just disgustingly easy because of this massive buff right here, and he's dead, just like that. Alrighty. So, for whatever reason, this game is actually rated E10+, but for whatever reason, in the Wii version, this was rated E for everyone. Even when this is like 2006 versus 2019, so clearly they realized, wow, this dude is doing this weird belly scratching animation, so we should probably raise it up to only 10-year-olds and over can play the game, which, okay. Anyway, so we're going to keep going into World 4, and this is where you're going to be running into some performance issues if you're playing this game on the Switch in particular. If you actually do want to play Banana Blitz HD, I recommend either getting this on your Series X, Series S, PS5, or best recommendation, PC. You don't even need a good PC to like at least run the game. This is actually the most updated version of the game. Even though that the PS5 and or actually the next gen consoles, they just emulated off of the previous generations of variants, it still runs closer to the hardware specs, to put it in perspective here. So this 94 on 4.2 is actually really good, surprisingly. Anyway, so we're going to keep on going into 4.3. This is actually the very first stage. Oh, yeah, okay, Unity moment. But anyway, so as I was saying, this was actually the very first Banana Blitz stage that I saw whenever I was a kid. Oh, wow, that's really cool. So I guess a quick little story time, because the rest of this world, there really isn't much. Basically, there's this site called Game Stats, and I would usually watch like trailer videos and then clips and things like that. I watched a lot of Monkey Ball Deluxe because that's how I got into that game at first, if anyone remembers that game. And in particular, I just saw a colorful Monkey Ball game, and it was like, Banana Blitz, is this on GameCube? No, it was on Wii, unfortunately. And I didn't get a Wii until 3 years later at that time. So, all right. So that little boost panel right there, remember that little mechanic, because in World A, I'll be performing a skip that uses said boost panel. It's actually pretty cool. It skips basically a lot of the stage. So anyway, 4.6 going into 4.7. I'm not sure if there's a donation reader on right now, because this is where I would like call for like special announcements or donations. All right, I'm just going to assume that there is no donation reader right now. But anyway, so the reason why this level, in my opinion, is boring, because stairs in ball game, that is awesome. We got a awesome tail here. But anyway, yeah, that's basically it. It's just stairs in ball game, and then the next stage just goes by quickly. So we're gonna finish at probably an 80. What? How did I get an 84 there? That was so slow. But anyway, now you may notice that I call a lot of things slow in this game because of the fact that I do have all the world records across every single category. Well, not every single category, but all 5 of the main categories. The current world record in all worlds is 34-24 by me, but it's a 2-year-old PB, and for some reason my bosses were good, but the latter half of the game was just a lot of, okay, we got to make sure that we're playing this game really good, because this game is a massive bully, and this is an example, and we got pretty good RNG over here. Most of the bosses in this game are RNG, so oh, that's so not good. So we have to wait a little bit, and this is going to set up the last section very poorly here. So okay, never mind actually.
we only lost about a couple of seconds there, and so that is World 4 completed. Minus that little hiccup on 4-3 due to collision. That was a pretty good world overall. So from a runner standpoint, Worlds 1 through 4, they kind of give you fundamentals throughout the game. The Worlds 5 through 10, we're going to start cooking. So in particular, after this stage, there's going to be a very cool strategy that I was able to perform in this game. It's actually possible to do it in the Wii version, but it's more so difficult because of motion controls. So here we go. So this is something that I like to call 5-2 pendulum skip. So first what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the timer to hit around 1:11 here. We're going to jump down, cancel our momentum like this, jump up again, roll up here, jump here, bam. Oh, that's unfortunate. I would have actually made that, but for some reason my up input went backwards there. So, but yeah, that's actually one major important buff to this game in particular is the fact that you can easily control your landing. So we're just gonna go for this again because it's an easy and difficult skip at the same time. So just like that, we essentially would have saved 40 seconds from having to play the stage. But if my calculations are correct, if you take that singular death and then hit the skip the second time, it's actually similar to having to take the first swing and then having to wait for that second swing again. So it's probably a few seconds slower, like if we're considering IGT, because of the fact that this game actually runs a lot slower. I'm roasting the Switch a lot because of the weaker hardware, but in consoles in particular, I would definitely not speedrun this game unless you're wanting to do like expert course and things like that, because it does use the in-game timer. So we basically removed the loads because PC is the fastest version. It's the fastest version of the game by like so many years. So, all right. So now we're just going to throw ourselves off of bonus stage here. If you thought that skip was cool, there's going to be another one coming up very soon. It is not this or the next stage. Spoiler alert. But this one here, all we got to do is just get on this wire here, go up, and just go in that goal just like that. Simple.
Just want to hop in here to remind everybody that we are raising money for Urban Arts. Yeah, if you want to donate at least $25 minimum, you get entered in a raffle for a Nintendo Switch.
I mean, definitely get yourself a Switch because the games library is pretty good. Sonic Frontiers, I'm just kidding. But in any case, so now what we're going to do is wait until about 1:10. This is the skip I'm talking about. Do a couple of jumps here. Jump here. Extend our distance there, bam, just like that. We're actually going to take the easier route and go around because it is possible to say 2 seconds here, but at what cost, because of the fact that we're challenging the Unity engine with its inconsistency when it comes to inputs and time. So we're going to just jump up here and save a couple of seconds here, and I'm actually kind of happy because essentially in World 5, I basically hit everything that I hit in a usual run, except for the, minor death on 5-2, but it is what it is. So we're just going to ride up this little rail here and just go all the way up. And then we're going to go straight to a particular boss fight, which I like to compare to as a certain TV show character. I will not say whom yet. So we're just going to jump to the goal here. I'll get an 87, which is pretty good. All right, so this little octopus here, it's kind of a weird comparison because I feel like I'm the only one who really enjoys this. So if you remember the episode in SpongeBob where he essentially has to do the errands for Squidward, and he goes into the bathtub and things like that, and then Squidward turns into an actual octopus despite being a cephalopod. That's what I just like to compare this boss to. Now, what you don't want to do is get near Taco's tentacles. First, the Japanese name is Taco, but I don't remember the English variant. I think it's still the same thing. Anyway, you don't want to get close to his tentacles because they are disjointed and they will bump you off the stage. So what we're going to do is go around here, and okay, we basically got bodied by Surf there, which is unfortunate. So yeah. Now, funnily enough, this is actually like one of my least favorite boss fights for that particular reason. One thing to also note about Sonic is that even though he's considered a heavyweight, because of his bouncing stat, basically this game says regardless of what happens, you're still going to get bumped to oblivion at times. And for whatever reason, I am actually doing this basically the unsafe way. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I don't let that happen again, because like right around here, if you take a death, you lose you lose a lot of time. So this last hit here, let's see, this will probably finish at around 69. Nice number, by the way. Actually, just kidding, 73. That was pretty fast. That kind of makes up for the little surf incident that happened a few seconds ago, but it's okay. All right, so we are basically halfway done with the game. And if you thought that, a lot of the terrible things that just happened, due to either little mistakes or game design, it gets worse. So, so be prepared for what's going to happen in World 6 through 10. In particular, World 6. All right, so one thing about the music as well, if you've ever played Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, every single one, thanks Unity. So basically every world essentially is a remix of whatever world was in Touch and Roll. So for example, Cobalt Caverns is a remix of Studio One in Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. So it's you have to like really hear it in order to actually get the vibe that wow, this is basically Touch and Roll but on the Wii. So Sega likes to be very gimmicky with their games, to put it in perspective. All right, so we're playing Eels and Escalators, but we're gonna wait until about 94. Jump up here and get into the goal just like that. All right, so now this is probably one of my favorite skips. Like right after 5-2. So we're gonna just do this is basically pure movement. So I'm gonna focus here. Nice. And 106 is really good. I believe IO records like high 106 or low 107. I do not remember off the top of my head. I used to IL this game a lot. That's how actually, thanks Unity. That's actually how I got really good with my consistency in this game, because this actually goes for any game that you want to get into. Consistency and practice is very important, especially with a game that has a lot of intricate design, where things are really not supposed to happen, but they do happen anyway, because developers really did not play test the game enough, frankly. This game was announced in July of 2019, and then they released it in October for consoles, and then December for PC. Yeah, that's a pretty cool skip, by the way. And then this one is we're just popping up on the mushrooms here. Let me see if I can get this little adjustment here. Nice. And then just go straight to the goal. Nice. Now, coming up next, we have the best stage in the game, because if you fall off at the end, you lose 30 seconds, and it is probably the most rage-inducing thing like ever in this game, in my honest opinion. Not even what happens like towards the end, but you do not want to take a death here. And the sad thing is, because Sonic is so fast on the ground, you have to slow down on some of these boost panels. God forbid that you play Baby, who actually is the lightest character in the game and has a busted boost panel stat. So finishing that with the 6 is really good. And then this one also has a pretty cool skip. So we're going to just back up here. I'm going to slow it down in a couple of places here to make sure I get this cycle skip here. So we're going to neutral flick here, jump right here, jump at this part, and I think I got it. Yeah, I did. Nice. Bam. We just saved 5 seconds, essentially. All right. Now, this is the worst boss in the entire game, but also the fastest boss fight if you're able to get stuck on the mic, but that's like one of the most extremely difficult things to do. Myself and only one other person who was actually able to hit this. So what we're going to do is... see, that's actually how you do the fast cycle skip. And one more hit. Nice, okay. The fact that this is actually my worst / least favorite boss fight in the game, and finishing that with the 107, that is really fast. I believe the world record finishes this at around 110. I don't know how I got lucky in that run, because the funny thing is, I was playing this game. I basically streamed this game for 8 hours straight, and I got the record literally in the 8th hour. So it's just like, wow, okay, dude. I don't even remember if I took breaks in between. This was like 2 years ago. Shoutouts to basically COVID speedrunning, essentially. All right, so World 7. I'm trying to make things a bit more lively here because World 7, even though there's like nothing much to talk about, I would have to say this. Oh, great. That's unfortunate. This is probably one of the most boring level designs of the entire game. And this actually kind of sets up modern Monkey Ball level design, how it's like so linear. Like the first one was linear, and this one, you're literally just going down a rail. Which, by the way, was changed from some like, I don't know what to call it. Basically, the wires had holes, had a hole in the middle of it. Actually, no, that's a railing. Never mind. But here, they just changed it to wires to mimic that of the original Monkey Ball. Now, if you thought that one was cool, check this one out. So what we're gonna do is jump down here, jump again, neutral flick, bam. Yep, that's literally the only cool part about this world. And now all we got is basically just a few more linear levels, but not to worry because World 8 is actually my favorite world, and it's pretty technical, and it does have that skip that I mentioned back in World 4. So we're just gonna jump up here. Literally after 7.5, we have probably like the last quote-unquote skip of World 7, and then we just got to play stages as intended because it's actually impossible to skip any part of the stage, unfortunately. So we're just going to jump in here, just like that. Save a bunch of time from having to play the stage casually. And then we're just going to basically write up this little thing here. I actually like to compare some of this level design to Knuckles Chaotix, if anyone has ever played the Sega 32X game, where basically the level design, even though there's like the partner mechanic, you're basically climbing up through Sonic levels, but you're just climbing up. You're not actually like going like in a straight like side-scrolling line. It's still a side-scroll, but you're essentially climbing up to the end of the level, and it's so repetitive. And that's pretty much what happens through the latter part of the game because, haha, it is very difficult. It is such an endurance test. But see, like all this really is it's basically 6-7, but you just got to slow down a lot more because here it's probably more punishing, but at least it's not. It's actually easier to slow down in some places, and it's kind of obvious that you need to slow down, if that makes sense. So we're going to finish this at around 21? Yeah, 21, 23. Nice. All right, so this next boss fight happens to be the worst, I guess the second worst casually. It can be one of the longest fights in the game, or it can be basically 30-second fight. So what we're going to do is jump up here, get that first cycle skip, and then what we're going to do is wait for Yoko to stop being weird. Nice. Just hopping around. Sometimes you will have to chase her, and it is very rage-inducing. So I'm going to... Nice, that's a 5-hit cycle now. So what's going to happen here is once I hit Yoko right here, she's going to spawn either into Snake or Bulldozer form. And I get Bulldozer. Nice. So we're going to stand back here, jump on top of this, bam. So, yeah, I was actually lucky to get all of basically those cycles. Now, how you get a 5-hit boss fight there, yeah, I don't know why the game is doing that. So sometimes they'll do that. But, oh, okay, Sonic's feet clip to the floor. That is interesting. Anyway, so we're going to move on to World 8. And this is definitely, again, my favorite world, both in music and level design. With the exception of one level, which is basically a Knuckles Chaotix type level. So these levels go by very quickly, essentially. Here, I'm not going to jump. We're just going to hold up, do a quick little bounce, neutral flick, bounce again, bam, just like that. Easy as pie. Now, if you thought that one was kind of cool and basic, check this out. Here, a few jumps, bam, just like that. All right, so this is the skip that I was talking about, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. Oh, yep, like I said, that's fine. That is random, by the way, so that's one reason why it's kind of nerve-wracking to touch this game again, because I have to hit the skip. So I'm going to give this, just a couple more tries. They're very quick deaths, but they do add up with the time. So. Thank you. There we go. So yeah, that's probably like the most inconsistent / random skip, but I would say 65% of the time you're basically able to skip that boost panel, and I'm gonna save you the trouble of the explanation of boost panel mechanics, with the exception of the fact that a lot of the characters in this game, with the exception of Gone because he's very slow, can do that skip. So yeah. Now that's also like a really nerve-wracking thing. You do the most inconsistent skip in the game. You have to play a wire stage, so that's like, oh my goodness, I got to make sure I'm not shaking because got to have that stability. So this one, it was actually quick. Oh, that's a 43. Yeah, it's nice. All right, so we have 2 more quote-unquote skips, essentially. We're gonna jump down here, hit this part. Oh, we barely saved that. And we're going to finish at around 48, 40, actually 47, because I got that little bump there. We're just going to jump over here. Bam. So that's actually one of the harder stages to do on the Wii Remote because of the fact that it's motion controls and aerial control is really difficult. So just like that. All right, so now we're coming up to the final boss of the main story, but this is not the last stage of the entire game. We got 2 more worlds after this, and yeah, that weak spot is kind of funny. We rated E10 plus for a reason. Unfortunately, this boss received a big nerf in that if you chose Baby, you were actually able to go under Captain Krabuchin and basically hit the weak spot from there. So. That's literally how you have to fight the boss. And the sad thing is, this has the most, one of the most RNG aspects to it fight. So the first 4 hits are guaranteed, like 100% of the time. The last few hits, I need to hope that he does that one, not this one, but the other cycle that he just did. I'll tell you whether or not this is good or bad. And this is mid, actually, because he sticks out his other foot, which is really difficult to punish. And I say difficult, but I usually punish that. Cool. Now this is the slowest one, unfortunately. It's the safest one, but also the slowest one. So we got 1 more hit, and okay, cool. So we're just gonna go around, and there we go. So basically, we would have completed the main story of Banana Blitz, and I'm gonna show you something a little cursed. Keep in mind that I played through the first 8 worlds as Sonic the Hedgehog. Keep that in mind. I'm going to show you an example of why you need to play test your games before you release them. I love Sega, but check this out. Remember we were Sonic, right? Where did I come from? Where'd he come from? Even though he's the main character of the game, for some reason Sega just chose not to add Sonic as part of the main story, even though it is possible to do so. So but anyway, Worlds 9 and 10, these are considered the extra worlds, and we roughly have around 6 to 7 minutes left of the run, but it goes by very quickly. So basically, I like to say World 9 basically plays itself out. A lot of the stages are very short, and I also like to say you don't even have to play half of these stages. Now this may look daunting at first, but all you got to do is just follow this jump pattern here, and nice. All right. Now this next one here, we don't play the stage. Just check this out. We're gonna jump down here. Goal's right there. Bam. All right, and then the bonus stage, it's the quickest. You just input down, Sonic goes out. Now 9-5 is another run killer for me. So what I'm gonna do is jump on this little bridge here, jump down here, hit this, hit that. I am probably gonna fall. I am not gonna fall out. Nice. So what happened there was I got a very lucky slope jump, because usually this game is all about gravity, both physics and gravity, but it's a more emphasis on gravity. I was supposed to fall off of that slope, but like I said, I landed on some part that I call lucky. That's literally it. So, 9-6, you don't really have to play that last part because that slope is really is just really hardly designed. But we don't play this stage either, so. Now, the other run killer is 9-8 because of the one thing I will say about Boost Panel is that the speed is actually inconsistent. So you have to make sure. Oh, okay, that almost happened. We're going to finish at around a 19. Uh-oh. So we got 1921. Nice. All right, now this stage. Oh, no. This is, like, so difficult. Oh, no. Okay, we don't talk about that. You get the idea. You get the idea. All right, take 2. Oh, no. This stage is so hard, so impossible. Oh, no. And we're done. I did not have enough momentum going into the goal there, so that's kind of why I undershot it. So now we're coming up into the final world of the entire game, and this is actually the hardest world just in general. And I would argue that this is much more difficult than, well, I would say this is second most difficult to Super Monkey Ball 1's Expert through Master category. So if you remember like Expert 7 or Exam C, that level like being a massive gatekeeper to the rest of the game, yeah, I would say this is kind of on par with that. So the first four levels, they're kind of a gaslight because it seems like, well, you know, the level design's not. I mean, this is kind of the hardest out of the quad beginning of the stages, with the exception of that one. And then just, you know, the cylinder stage in general, all we got to do is just roll on top. Like, you know, it kind of just butters you up for what's going to happen for the last half. And personally, the last half of World 10 is one of my favorite ways to end off the run here. So what we're going to do is say goodbye to this last bonus stage here. Goodbye, bonus stage. And here we go. This is the hardest stage of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz because of one thing. So I'm going to focus here real quick. All right. So this little platform here, you fell through that one in the Wii version. Well, if you play the US version on the Wii, you fell through that platform, but they fixed it in the European versions and, of course, in this game. Now, basically, once you're done with that stage, World 10 just plays itself out, in my honest opinion. So we're basically going to be playing Tick-Tock Clock, and then just go straight go straight into this little thing here, and then bam, just like that. All right, so we're coming up to something that I actually stole from the Wii version, and this is something that the world record does not go for, and it saves 4 seconds if done perfectly. So we're going to jump down here. Cancel what I'm going to do here, do a little bounce, and bam. All right, so now we essentially have one more skip, and then we have one semi-skip on the final stage. And by the way, Worlds 9 and 10 have 9 levels as opposed to a boss fight at the end of stage 8. So after this stage, time will be when I cross the goal on Ultra Heaven 9. So be very ready to call time here. All right, so basically, this is your endurance test. We're going to be climbing up, and this is, wow, we missed the boost panel, but that's okay. So we're just going to just ride on this little wire here, just being a gamer, right up this part, right up this, whoa, we're not going to fall off there. And we're just going to go and time. Nice. Now, I'm going to give you all a quick fun fact. This time right here, which is around like a 36:54, is actually second place to my PB. So IGT, I would have around a 30, either a low 36 or a high 35, or a high 35. So I'm not going to retime this obviously, but like to put it in perspective again, this run is essentially second place. And this is like one of the only games I don't really practice these days because I run other games as well. So this is where I get to go into the shameless plugs. So if you really liked both of the runs that I performed, either Mario Kart or Banana Blitz HD, I encourage you all to follow me. My Twitch is PeasSMB. I tend to run Monkey Ball games, usually this game or Banana Mania. And I'm actually dabbling in other games as well. I recently got Puyo Puyo Fever 2 and 8 Deluxe into GDQ, so be on the lookout for that one in January. And definitely when I get back home, I'll be grinding those games out. So thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Pace, for having me and allowing me to showcase both of these amazing games that I play. And because it's not every day that, you know, I'm really able to show off games that are really like not really seen in the speedrunning scene, but in any case, it's always a grand time being able to have a marathon appearance. And this has actually been Banana Blitz's. Actually, 6 years ago, this Banana Blitz was shown at AGDQ, but this has been Banana Blitz HD's first in-person marathon experience, at least from a factual standpoint, because 2019 then COVID hit, and then you know, the world just shut down essentially. But anyway, yeah. Again, thank you all so much for having me. Thank you so much to those in the chat for tuning in and watching. Shout out to the Monkey Ball community. And of course, friends, family, my mother in particular. And yeah, that will do it for me. Also, lastly, my Twitter will also be PeasSMB if you want to stay up to date with, you know, like whenever I stream or, you know, basically what's going on, because these days, Twitter.com is where people are usually active, things like that. So again, thank you so much for having me, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the marathon, and take care of yourselves.